Hi, Epic Recaps here, and today I am going to explain to you a 2016 horror crime thriller titled, Don't Breathe. If you want to be spoiled, keep watching. The movie opens, and three Detroit delinquents are breaking into the home of a wealthy owner. After disabling the security system, they begin to grab the nicest looking items they can get their hands on. When they're done, they throw a rock through the plate glass door and run away. Rocky, who's had a rough life, spends most of her free time caring for her little sister Diddy. They live with their abusive mother Ginger, and her deadbeat alcoholic boyfriend. Rocky promises Diddy that she will get both of them out of there, so they can start a new life in California. Elsewhere, Alex lives with his security guard father, who is never home as he is always working double shifts. He uses his father's computer to access the security company's database, to look for wealthy people to rob. Meanwhile, Money receives a tip that a retired U.S. Army veteran is living in an abandoned Detroit neighborhood, and has $300,000 in cash in his house, given as a settlement after a wealthy young woman killed his daughter in a car accident. Rocky is on board to rob the man, hoping that the money they find will be enough to get her and Diddy to California. Alex doesn't agree with the plan and is worried that it's too risky. Returning home, Rocky sends Alex a pleading text which prompts him to look up the homeowner. Confirming that the man received a large settlement, and wanting to help Rocky, he changes his mind and tells her he's on board. The next day, the three stake out the man's house, which is located in a slum neighborhood with unoccupied houses. In the car, Alex tells Rocky that he will leave with her after this robbery, hinting that he has feelings for her. Money returns with the surveillance footage and tells the pair that the job will be quick and easy. The group is startled when a Rottweiler appears out of nowhere, and looking up, they see the owner of the house and realize that the man is blind. That night, the three approach the house and drug the blind man's dog. Finding all entrances locked, Rocky enters the house through a small window and lets the other two in. The group searches the house for the money but are unable to find it. Money heads upstairs and puts a sleeping gas bomb in the blind man's bedroom to ensure that he doesn't wake up. Returning downstairs, they find a locked door that leads to the basement. Assuming the money is located behind the door, Money pulls out a gun and prepares to shoot the lock. Alex is horrified that Money is carrying a gun, and tries to convince Rocky that the job has become too risky. She insists on staying and he leaves without her. Money shoots the lock with a makeshift silencer, but the noise wakes up the blind man, who demands to know who else is with Money. He insists he is alone and threatens to shoot the man. The blind man easily disarms him, and after they struggle, he kills him with his own gun. Terrified, Rocky hides in a closet, where she witnesses the blind man open a safe to check on his money. Alex returns and has to evade the blind man, who starts locking up all the doors and windows. He finds Rocky hiding in the closet. She opens the safe and takes the money, which appears to be at least $1 million. They both agree that the basement is their best chance at escaping, and when they head toward the door, the man emerges from downstairs. The two keep quiet as the man struggles to move Money's body. When Alex tries to take a step back, the floor creaks, and in an intense moment, the man aims the gun at them. Suddenly, Money's phone goes off, and he fires a quick shot at it. The man proceeds to drag the body outside, and Rocky and Alex hurry to the basement. Downstairs, they are horrified to find a restrained and gagged woman in a homemade padded cell. Desperate, she shows them a newspaper article about the car accident, and they realize that she is Cindy, the rich young woman, held captive by the blind man. Meanwhile, the man returns and finds Rocky's shoe, alerting him that Money was not alone after all. He opens his safe and is angered when he discovers the money is gone. Rocky and Alex free Cindy, and carry her toward the cellar door. Alex manages to get the door open, but they're taken off guard by the blind man waiting for them outside. He shoots his gun, and the bullet grazes Alex in the ear. When he fires a second time, he mistakenly shoots and kills Cindy, and breaks down crying when he discovers her dead. Alex picks up the man's keys and tries to make it back to the front door. As they head back upstairs, the blind man turns off the lights in the basement, leaving them all in total darkness. He catches Alex and tries to shoot him, but his gun is empty and Alex pushes a shelf down on him and runs upstairs with Rocky. After blocking the basement door with a crowbar, they encounter the blind man's dog, and are forced to flee into the bedroom, where they're trapped by the barred windows. Rocky manages to escape the room through a ventilation duct, while the dog attacks Alex, who falls out of a window onto a skylight. going unconscious. When Alex awakens, a blind man shoots out the skylight and corners him in his utility room, killing him with a pair of pruning shears. Meanwhile, the dog pursues Rocky through the vents, and she is captured by the blind man who then knocks her out. When Rocky awakens, she finds herself restrained in the basement just like Cindy was. She pleads for her life and the blind man reveals that he impregnated Cindy, and was carrying his child in order to replace the one she killed. He then prepares to artificially inseminate Rocky with a turkey baster, explaining that she will now be the one to give him a child. Meanwhile, back in the utility room, it is revealed that the blind man accidentally stabbed Money's corpse with the shears, instead of Alex. He makes his way downstairs and bludgeons the man from behind with a hammer. After freeing Rocky, they handcuff him to the wall, and she stuffs the baster down his throat, before escaping upstairs. They make it to the front door and manage to open it, but the blind man appears and shoots Alex dead. Rocky escapes the house but is pursued by the dog, and drops the bag of money. She manages to trap the dog in her car trunk, but when she goes to retrieve the bag, the blind man knocks her out and drags Rocky back to the house to finish the job of impregnating her. Inside the house, Rocky disorients the blind man by setting off the house's loud alarm system. She grabs the crowbar and whacks the blind man over the head multiple times, as he falls into the basement. And believing him dead, she takes the money and leaves the house before the police show up. The scene changes and Rocky is now with Diddy at the train station, ready to start their new lives. Before boarding, she sees a news report on TV, stating that the blind man killed 2 intruders in his house and is in stable condition at the hospital. The report mentions nothing about Rocky or the money, and she nervously leaves with Diddy, never to look back again. The end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below. For more movie recaps, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. See you next time.